This is a tutorial how to cast on 2 at a time socks that are cuff down. I have a set of 40-inch circular needles here for my socks. I've also divided my yarn into 2 balls. I wound the entire skein into 1 ball, then I weighed it. Then I left it on the scale and I hooked the end back up to the ball winder and I unwound from it until the weight was half of the original, and then I was able to get 2 balls. So this is my second ball. We're just going to put this one aside for now. This one is already cast on in a 2x2 rib. I used the long tail cast on in rib onto my needles. I have a marker here, so I've got half of my stitches here and half of my stitches here. I'm going to use this marker to put this into magic loop formation by pulling this just gently like this until I have my cable hanging out this side of my stitches. Okay, so I've got my ball here. I'm just going to put that one out of the way, and I'm going to kind of scoot these up this way just a little bit. Now, these are ready for sock number 1. We'll end up taking this yarn and knitting down here in order to join that in a loop, and that will become our sock. But we want to add one more on there. So to cast on your second one, find the needle that has your live yarn attached to it, just like this. So I'm going to find this needle, and I'm going to hang on to this needle, and I'm going to let go of all the rest of everything else. I'm going to introduce my new yarn here, and I'm going to start casting on for my 2x2 rib. Okay, so we've got 2 knit stitches. We'll do 2 purl stitches. By the way, the long tail cast on in rib goes like this. The long tail cast on is up the thumb, down the finger, down the thumb, and then you pull to tighten. Okay, and then a purl stitch is up the finger, down the thumb, down the finger, and then you pull. Okay, so I'll show you that one again. Up the finger, down the thumb, down the finger, and then you pull. Okay, you're going to continue in this manner until you have half the stitches that's required by your sock. In my case, it is 36. So I'm not going to actually cast on 36 because that's a little ridiculous to watch on camera. So we're going to pretend this is 36. Okay, half of our stitches are now on. I'm going to find both of my needles. Here they are. The stitches I just cast on this needle, I am now going to pass to this needle. All 36 of them in my case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 36, since we're pretending. Suspend belief with me. Okay, they've been moved over. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to these. Now you can see these are not at the end anymore. These are here at the base, okay? So they're not near the tip, they're over here. I'm going to find this other needle. I'm going to try to untangle it from everything else. I'm going to hold it right on top of my stitches, just like this. I'm going to pinch right here on the tip of the needle that has all of these stitches, plus I'm going to pinch the new needle. I'm now going to grab and do my little slingshot shape, okay? And I'm going to very carefully only cast on down the finger, down the thumb to this needle, the first stitch. That's the hardest part right there. Now you can kind of let go of this other needle and just hold on to this one. This one will be absolutely in your way and it will be incredibly annoying. Just ignore it, okay? All right, so we're going to do another knit stitch. Now we're going to do a purl stitch just like this, and then a purl stitch just like this, and then another knit. You get the idea. So let's pretend we've got the other set of 36 on there. All right, I'm going to straighten out my needles now. Now, I think I'm all tangled up, so it looks like this ball of yarn needs to go through here. So I'm going to untangle myself so that everything is nice and neat. Okay, so let's see if we got this right. I'm going to follow this down here, and I'm just going to scoot the first sock up near the second. If I did this correctly, then my live yarn should be on the same needle, okay? So, I'm gonna move these balls around here. Okay, so here's my first sock, here's my ball yarn. Let's follow this needle up to here. Here's the second sock, here's the ball yarn. See how they look identical? They're identically placed on the needles. Again, you have to suspend belief and pretend that there's actually enough stitches on here, okay? Now, let's pretend this is an actual size sock. Here's how you start. We're going to take our live yarn. I want to make sure and not knit with my tail, so I'm going to throw it over there. Here's my ball yarn, okay? I'm going to scoot these up toward the tips. My live yarn is attached to this back needle, this top needle here. I'm going to start knitting on this needle here. So I'm going to hold my yarn. I'm going to take this needle that's in the back. I'm going to pull it out, and then I'm going to insert it into this first stitch here in order to join the two in the round, just like that. See that gap there? Just give it a little bit of a tug and it'll tighten right up, okay? So then I'm going to knit all the way across all 36 stitches on this first needle. Okay, once I get all the way across my stitches, there'll be another sock waiting for me. So we're going to put all this together just like this. All right, done with that sock. I'm going to go ahead and pull that down. And now I'm going to get this guy all straightened out, and I'm going to shove this second sock up onto my needle. Okay, there we go. Make sure it isn't twisted. Then you're going to insert this needle into this side, just like this. Grab the yarn from the back here, do your first yarn over, just like this. Pull it nice and tight, and you're going to continue knitting across all the way, just like that.